We are just overloaded with the pineapples. We've been picking them. I was away for a few days. I just left. I picked some. I had left them out because I just didn't want them to get eaten by the critters. But I went ahead and picked them, and I put them back here on the back porch. And I feel so behind. I feel very overwhelmed with what the next step is with these pineapples. Is you have to put them up. I don't know if you know that term, putting up your vegetables, putting up with your family, putting up with the heat, putting up. But we last year we cut and froze the pineapples, so I'm going to do that, and it's just a day. You just have to decide that you're going to make a day of it and put aside time to do that. I don't really have the time. I am really behind. Our kitchen had flooded, and we had people here fixing that, and I was away for 4 days, and so this just has to be done today. And I remember a time I just thought I was such a country girl, such a southerner, that I could, we were going to put up peas. So we were going to go pick peas, and I did not know. I had no idea what that really meant. I had read it in books, and I thought it was very glamorous. But today I'm going to make some pineapple jam. I saw a post of a friend of ours from Simpler Place Farm right here in the Riverview area. She posted a pineapple crumble, and she shared that and said that she had got it from her friend that has a farm in Waimama, my mother's garden, and she has chicken, eggs, and she had pineapples too. So kind of a similar walking together in this pineapples anyway. And so just so thankful for the Simpler Place farmers market that we have here in Riverview. In the fall it starts back up, and it's just a great place to go get fresh vegetables, mostly organic, and just permaculture thought going into it. Same place I go to get TrailBale chickens, and as TrailBale gave us, we bought a dozen of their fertilized eggs to hatch our eggs and have our little chicks. And anyhow, so I'm going to go through a process of putting up the pineapple. I'm just going to cut it up, put it in the freezer, pretty much like I did with the core and peeler in, I think it was video 4. And I'm also going to put them in chunks, and that I make the Dole Whip out of, or I'm going to use that to make some jam, and then from the jam I'm going to use it to make the pineapple crumble recipe. So I'm going to get to sharing all of that with you here on this video coming up. So I cored and sliced this pineapple here with this core peeler, and I have a lot of meat left in here because that's what my daughter always complained about, how it left so much meat. So what I'm going to do with this is just make little chunks out of it. We like to put it in our cottage cheese. So I'm going to do this like I would do this small one. I'm going to chunk that small one up because, for that reason, the core is too big and I waste too much meat. So just make it into score it, and then you use the knife to be careful, don't cut your fingers off, to do that. And I get a little more meat, or I might even use this to make that jam. So I'll just put that in there. And then when you have a small pineapple like this, it's just too wasteful to try to, you can't even use the core. So you cut it. And this also, when these have spots on it, sunburns on it, it gives you a chance to cut off what you don't want. So you do the same thing, you just core it like a cantaloupe or something like that, and then you get your pineapple chunks when it calls for pineapple chunks. One of my friends wanted a pineapple from me because she said that she had read that if you use the peel, this part, you can use it as an antioxidant, not an antioxidant, exfoliant on your face to make sure if you have acne real bad. Remember, it is a, what does it help with inflammation? So I see how that might work too.
Stop.
So this is what I've gotten: 2 bags of rings and a full gallon Ziploc bag of cubes and a nice little container of juice. I want to show you, okay, when I picked up some of them, I twist the tops off because they're just easier to plant that way. I looked at some of them, and this one it looks so rotten, and it is very squishy, and it's extra fragrant. So it really feels rotten through and through, and any that I found that I could salvage, I cut off that part. But this one just has a very small rim of hard, so I don't know what I might do with that one. I might just let that one go. I might just let that one go into the trash. Now this one looks the same. It's sunburned, but it's hard. It's not squishy, and I found it's very sunburned, and I found out when I cut into one like that, it was kind of dry by that area, but it was still edible. It did not taste. I tasted them all. I figured I better taste them all before I put some bad in the batch and have them spoil the whole batch. So I've been tasting as I go, and it didn't have a rotten taste to it. I guess you could make some kind of pineapple wine out of this, moonshine or something, but I don't know how to do that. And our pastor says we shouldn't drink. So then there's this one, same thing. This one's really hard all the way around, and it looks bad on the outside, but then when I cut into it, especially when I diced these, I can get really close to the skin and see what I have going on in there and taste it. So I wanted to see help you make a decision whether or not, even though it looked bad on the outside, the fruit was still good on the inside.